Hello everybody and welcome to one of our other mindful sessions. And today we're going to be writing. And this can be one of those, you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to write a story, I don't want to write a book, what am I going to do? But this is going to be guided through, but it's just allowing you to kind of notice where you are right now, but also notice where you're not, and allow whatever's going on inside to be released onto a piece of paper. So all you need for this is pen and paper, or you can use your phone as well, which is kind of where I've been doing stuff in my notes pages and locking them as well. So, whenever you're feeling ready, just ground yourself wherever you are, sitting comfortably, lying down, however you feel at peace right now. And this whole exercise, we're not going to be thinking too much, we're just going to be allowing whatever comes naturally to spill out on the page, knowing that this isn't a reflection of us, it's just something that's within us, and it's within every single person. That we've got this whole plethora of emotions and situations and outcomes, and sometimes we explore things that aren't us, but it gives us an understanding, it's play, and that's what we're doing right now. We're playing with words, we're playing with emotions, we're playing with context and scenarios. So just allow yourself to be open and non-judgmental, knowing that whatever comes out is completely okay, and you're in charge of your own story, and you can rewrite whatever you need for you. And if whatever comes out on a piece of paper is a story that you don't like, or you associate to your own personal story, then by all means take that paper, rip it up, or rewrite it and change the ending. You are the author. So what we're going to do is you're just going to ground yourself, and we're going to think of an action or a place, whatever one first comes to your mind. And as you're looking at the paper or the phone in front of you, just start to write out and describe what this is in as much detail as you can, talking about colour, time, space, if there's any pressure in anything, allowing this one simple moment, this one simple action, or this one simple emotion, environment, whatever it is that's first come to your head, and just allow that to expand on the piece of paper. So say, for instance, I think of throwing a stick. I'm not going to expand any further than explaining the throwing of the stick. So just spend a few moments now just allowing yourself to really dive into those words and let them expand. And you can add words before the paragraph, underneath, just allow it to make a big mess, however makes sense for you. Just staying with your writing, allowing yourself to become completely immersed. Not worrying, not thinking, just allowing words to come out even if they don't make sense, even if the sentence before doesn't link, but just finding your own flow. And you may be noticing things coming out of what you're writing. You may be focusing on a physical sensation, you may be noticing on what you can hear, what you can see, and that's completely okay. Keep going with that sense. Allow that to evolve even more, and maybe swap senses as well, that's completely okay. But really focus on that. And whenever you feel that you've exhausted what you're writing, or you feel stuck, that's completely okay. Just pause, take a breath, reread what you've done. You may want to add things as you go along, and it may change what happens next, and feel free to scribble that out if you want to. Or start again if you started with one idea and now you're feeling lost and something else has happened. Take a pause, skip a line, and rewrite something. You're just allowing whatever it is just to come out, and these different ideas to be explored. But we're focusing on this one short moment and giving it as much detail and texture to make it as alive as we possibly can make it. And we're just going to stay with that for a few more minutes, really allowing yourself to become in that moment. And then you may assign the person that's having this emotion or is in this environment, the animal, whatever it is, a name, Has it got a personality trait? Has it got an aesthetic trait? And starting to write that in as well, seeing how it's not connected to what is happening in the story in that one moment, but it just gives a layer that this aesthetic doesn't make this action, but the aesthetic makes it real, and it makes this page real, but it makes it real for that character, and it makes it real for that one situation. Just allow that to expand however makes sense for you. Knowing, again, as we've said, we can keep coming back to the story, we can rewrite the story if we're reading it and something's come up. You know, if it's revealed something to you and you're going, oh, there's something in this, or why was this one action so important to me? Say it was an action, for instance, say in my example of throwing a stick. I might really be focusing on how I'm holding this stick, pressure of my arm, my shoulder, where I am, what I'm looking at, that I can start to sense it in my body. But I know that once I've thrown that stick and this narrative is done, that narrative has left me. So as we're coming towards the end of just this short description, have an ending. In my case, it's the throwing of the stick. It could just be taking a breath. It could be commenting on whatever's being created or whatever is being viewed or heard or seen. But create an ending to the end of the scene or wherever it is, and I'll just give you a moment for that. And then we know that this story that's in front of us, that is a very, very short moment out of a lot of context, but we've given it as much as we can by focusing on our sight, our smell, our touch, whatever it was in that moment. And we know that this is detached from us, it's on paper, it's not real in our lives, it's real in this character, in this time, in this situation, and that doesn't bleed to anything else. And as you're looking at this paper, at this phone, at this story, just noting what's sticking out for you as you're rereading it again. Is it an idea? Is it a theme? Is it a thought that's come into your head? Is it a word or a phrase? Is it something you've imagined in your mind? And just allow that to sit with you for a moment. You could recircle the word or phrase, you could highlight it, underline it, try and draw out what you're picturing, or closing your eyes and just letting that moment flash and then leave again. And the important thing here is that this is leaving again. That whether it's very positive or something that we're not as comfortable with, that this isn't us. And that we can write as many as these short little snippets as we want. And we have the freedom to explore a range of things. And that's completely okay, and that's normal, and that's us learning, and that's us playing. And right now we've just focused on one small thing. And we're giving ourselves the confidence and the time to allow that to grow. So again, as you're looking at this little story in front of you, and you've maybe highlighted words or thought of an emotion, I'd like you to write that out as one concise sentence. The one thing that really stood out in this story, the moral or the ending of the story. And then just lock it up wherever you need. If that's locking it on a phone, keeping it in a diary, putting it in your purse, whatever works for you right now. And we know that this is a little imaginary world that you can jump into and explore something really short and really concisely, as we've done today, as you prepare yourself to explore things a bit bigger, or we're exploring something completely abstract from ourselves, something that does not represent who we are or who we have to be. It's a complete free world without any expectations, and that no one else needs to see. So I'm curious how that was for you, if you're able to get into it. Don't worry if not. Again, as with all of these, the aim is to try little different things. And if you didn't like one drawing thing one day, You might like the next one because we're trying to do as many different things as we can. So do stay open-minded, but also stay safe and just doing what you're enjoying the most. So thank you very much, and I hope to see you soon.